And welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Dallas Cowboys episode.
Appropriate. Very appropriate.
And yes, we are here to talk about the Cowboys. And we do not have a guest. I know it's a surprise because
There's so many Cowboys
It's
fans.
the Cowboys. We do know quite a few Cowboys fans. We don't know any, but we just the schedule just didn't work out for us to get a Cowboys fan here tonight. But we do have 4 Cowboys fans who sent us their lists, so we actually have 4 extra Mount Rushmores that we will be telling you who is on them. All from Cowboys fans. I have a list. Drew has a list, Wade has a list, and Uncle Doug has a list from Cowboys fans. So we're all going to carry 2 lists, our own and a Cowboys fans, and just let you guys know. So that all being said, Drew, who's your number 4?
Jason Witten.
Ooh, Jason Witten. I gave Witten some thought, but I did not put him on my list.
No, he didn't make my list either.
Nope.
Didn't make either one of my lists.
Yeah, he didn't make Josh's
No,
list.
He didn't make Logan's list
He didn't make my other list either. So, Jason Witten is 11-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. He's got 13,000 receiving yards, 74 touchdowns. He's the Cowboys' all-time reception leader, and he's 4th in the NFL all-time. He's 2nd all-time in yards by tight ends in NFL history. And he has tons of other Cowboys records and stuff. He's way up there on most of their all-time list.
I think he had an Iron Man streak there for a while too.
Yeah.
Where he played a ridiculous amount of
so.
games.
And he was a good two-way tight end. I think we might talk about it a little bit in the Patriots episode, but Jason Witten would block.
Yeah.
He didn't just block. Jason Witt was an elite blocker for a tight end. Like maybe one of the greatest blocking tight ends ever.
They would leave him one-on-one with defensive ends routinely.
Yes.
He was very good.
Yes. He's 6'6", 265, big guy. He handled his business out on the outside. I will say this, Drew. I almost put him on my list because of this reason. He is in a discussion at his position for an all-time great. I'm not saying he's the all-time greatest tight end, but he is probably higher on his list of his position than a lot of guys we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
He's probably got to be a top 5 tight end of all time, and a lot of the guys we're going to talk about today won't be that for their position.
Well, it's Tony Gonzalez, Jerry Rice, and someone else are the only guys that have more catches than him in NFL history.
Yeah.
I can't think of who the third
Yeah.
guy.
Did Larry Fitzgerald get up there?
Yeah, I think it's probably Larry, yeah. But
So I don't think you made a bad pick there, even though he didn't make my list.
I considered him.
watching him and Tony Romo and Des Bryant and the O-line now, but when they weren't hurt every year, and DeMarco Murray for those years, they were pretty good for a while.
Yeah.
All right. You have anything else to add on Witten?
Nope.
All right, Drew, you have another list from, you said Ryan?
Yep, Ryan Merrill.
All right, Ryan. Who is Ryan's number 4?
Larry Allen.
Ooh, Larry Allen did not make my list, but he made my second list from Josh.
Go ahead. Oh, I have to do a little explaining. I didn't get a technical number 4 from my second list. I got told 2 players that tied for 4th. So
Actually, I did too.
okay. Well, Larry Allen is one of the ones tied for 4th on my guest Mount Rushmore. So
Larry didn't make either one of my list or Logan's list. Though I did consider him because he was a great player.
Yeah, I thought about Larry on my own, but
yeah.
He's on the All-90s team and the All-2000s team. He's got a Super Bowl. He's 11-time Pro Bowl. Oops, I hit the wrong button there. 11-time Pro Bowler and 7-time All-Pro.
Well, that ESPN thing that came out a month or 2 ago that we talked about on here, he was ranked the greatest guard of all time.
yeah.
On that, him and old John Hannah were 1 and 2. So he's also, a lot of people consider him the strongest person in NFL history. There's a video of him bench pressing like 700 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, he was a massive human being.
Yeah, like can you YouTube it real quick and see how much
All right.
it is. I'm pretty sure it's like 700 pounds. He bench presses it. It's pretty insane. And he's, I think, somewhat older at that point.
700 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bench pressed 700 pounds.
It's insane.
And they did that, like, how many reps you can do with 225
43 times.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
a lot. That is a lot.
And a lot of guys that can throw up a ton of weight. Like if you go like some of the world's strongest men guys, like can bench a ridiculous amount of weight, but if you ask them to do a bunch of reps, they tucker out really, really fast. So like the fact that he was able to do all those reps with 225 and bench 700 pounds is even more
He's
impressive,
strong,
really.
yeah.
Well, his upper body muscle endurance has got to be good because 50 times a game he's pushing another man with his upper body. So I mean,
Yeah.
his upper body gets a lot of endurance work up there. So, but yeah, he literally out-muscled some of the biggest, most athletic grown men on the planet Earth throughout his entire career. He was literally just stronger than everyone. That's just what he did. He just moved people out of the way.
So I'm gonna get this straight. Nobody actually in this room had Larry Allen on their list,
Correct.
Nope.
but how many Cowboys fans list did he make?
Jeremy had him as
Josh had him.
his tie
Nine.
for fourth.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Three
Three.
guest list, but no list in the room.
Okay. All right. All right. Wade, who is your number 4?
Like mine
Yes, yours.
is Michael Irvin.
Mine is also Michael Irvin.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say Michael didn't make my list. Sorry,
Michael did not make my list.
Mine either.
or Logan's list.
He didn't make Ryan's list either.
He didn't make Josh's either.
He was just an honorable mention on Jeremy's. Jeremy gave me a lot of details.
I got honorable mentions on Bubba's too.
Well, here's the thing with, obviously it's a Hall of Fame receiver, just under 12,000 yards, 750 receptions, 65 touchdowns. He's the best receiver on 3 Super Bowl teams. But the thing that really sticks out with me, not only is he a great Hall of Fame receiver, but again, he's widely popular. He's still popular today. He's on multiple TV stations today. He's on NFL Network. He's on ESPN. He's one of the first people you think of when you think of the 90s Cowboys teams. He was loud and obnoxious when he played. He was known for doing bad and good things on and off the field.
He's in the longest yard.
He is the longest yard.
He is in longest yard.
Yeah, he's one of the people that fuck up Adam Sandler on the basketball court.
Yeah.
And Terry Crews is throwing McDoubles at him. He's cheeseburger ready. But
I forget about cheeseburger.
I got fries that'll crust your eyes. I got shakes that'll make you quake. I got burgers. Well, I just got burgers, bro. But,
So I didn't look. Wade, did you? Is he their all-time leading receiver?
I did not look, but I just assumed.
Des Bryant was there a minute.
No,
He
Des
has-
Bryant is not even close to that.
Isn't there? I'm thinking
It's only 11,000
guy.
yards. It's not like it's.
I don't think Des Bryant's even. I don't think he's got 10,000 yards.
Oh, he may not. Jason Witten might be their all-time leading
Yeah,
receiver.
that's true.
actually.
Yeah, 'cause I said
Witten
Jason-
is.
Yeah, but
Witten's
Witten's
more
got
yards
13,000 yards.
and more catches. Yeah,
Oh.
way more
Well,
catches.
he's got 13,000 for his whole career. He's probably like 12,000 with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Des Bryant only has 7,400.
Yeah, I knew.
So-
I know he wasn't that far high up there.
But there should be.
He
what
died
was-
off pretty quickly.
What was the receiver from Stallbox receiver?
He had a couple.
Drew Pearson.
Drew Pearson, but I'm not seeing him on here.
Drew Pearson just got in the Hall of Fame like a couple years ago.
Like last year, I think.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
here
the
we
one
here we
that
go. I got it now. So Jason Witten is number 1, Michael Irvin's number 2, and then it's Tony Hill, Drew Pearson, and then Des Bryant.
Okay.
Well, Drew Pearson only has 7,800 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the trivia question I used last week I got because I looked some up for Michael Irvin. Out of all the retired players in NFL history, he's 6th all time in yards per game. So it's pretty impressive.
He's 4th all time in Cowboys history in touchdowns.
He doesn't have a ton of touchdowns, to be honest.
Yeah.
65 is respectable, but it's not really high.
It's not a huge number.
No.
Mm.
But 12,000 yards in 12 seasons?
Des Bryant is their all-time leader in touchdowns.
Is Witten like one behind him?
Yeah, 1.
Yeah.
And then Bob Hayes is 1 behind him.
Bob Hayes. I knew there was another big receiver back in the day. I couldn't think of who it was.
Oh yeah, Bob Hayes was.
Was he the Bullet Bob Hayes? How they
Yep.
called him? Yeah.
Well, Bob Hayes ran in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He had a season where he averaged 26 yards a catch.
Mm.
Holy.
Yeah. For his
Wow.
career, he averaged 20.
Oh, that's very nice.
So
Michael Irvin is second all time in Cowboys history in catches, also behind Jason Witten by like
Yes,
500.
yeah, it's like way behind.
Yes,
Witten.
sir. It's my boy Jason. Jason.
All right. Well, Wade, is your list from Jeremy to have a number 4 left?
Yeah, I remember there were 2 because he gave me a tie at 4.
Okay. Who did he? Who,
Take a wild guess. Who's the old number? The other old tie.
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman is Josh's number 4 as well.
Didn't
Yeah.
make my list.
Didn't make my list.
Didn't make mine.
Didn't make Logan's list.
No,
He made Ryan's list at number 3.
Oh.
he's not on my list.
So again, Aikman's not anybody in the room, but he made 3 of the guest lists.
Yes.
Okay.
Woo, Troy
So do we have to talk about Troy?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We've talked about him.
He's in the Hall of Fame. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler. Doesn't have him listed as any All-Pros. Yeah, never made an All-Pro
No,
team.
never made All-Pro.
Why would he?
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ. He does have a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
He played his entire career in Dallas. He has 3,200, almost 3,300 passing yards. Did I say that wrong? You looked at me like
32,000.
Oh yeah, sorry. Did I say 3,200?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He has 32,000
Yeah.
passing yards, almost 33,000. He has only 165 touchdowns.
To go with his 141 interceptions.
Yeah, it's 141 interceptions. Yes, he threw double-digit interceptions every year of his career, but 3.
Mm.
And some of those are kind of high. It's not just like 11 or 12. It's 18.
He threw 18 interceptions back-to-back seasons.
Yeah.
18, 18, 10, 14, 12, 13, 12, 12, 14.
Mm.
We just need to be honest here. I mean, Troy Aikman was a game manager that won Super Bowls. I mean,
So he was the old school Baker Mayfield.
But it was on
He
the right.
didn't win?
It was on the right team.
if,
Yeah.
if Nick Chubb ran for more yards than anyone else in NFL history behind a great offensive line that won Super Bowls, then yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys a guess here. What do you think is the career high in yards of Aikman for a season?
I'm looking at it, so I won't answer.
I'm gonna guess 3,000.
I was going to say 3,000.
I mean, he threw for 3,000 yards quite a few times.
Handful of times.
But I bet he didn't
Oh.
get to 4,000.
No. His
Never-
high, his
never
career
approached
high
it.
is 3,400.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't figure it.
Well, I mean, I understand if you're a Cowboy fan and the quarterback wins you 3 Super Bowls,
You like him?
you
Yes.
like him.
But
yes.
the rest of us,
You know.
He threw for 3,000 yards 5 times in his career.
So
I mean, like, out of all honesty, like, we've made fun of him quite a bit on here. But,
We
like,
have.
we like him announcing.
yeah, he's fine announcing.
Yeah,
He has some okay seasons where he did what he was supposed to for them to win. So,
Yeah.
like, he does get a little credit for winning 3 Super Bowls. But in all reality, like, they weren't really winning because of him. That's kind of the thing
No.
that sticks out. Like, he had some bigger moments and bigger games.
Didn't he get benched?
But a lot of times, I don't remember about that part. But
he did what he was supposed to do.
yeah, so like he does deserve some credit.
Yeah.
But to say he's an all-time great is it's a bit much.
Because it comes back down to Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Right.
In all reality, when
Yeah.
you look at his career, he had one good season, one really good season. There's a bunch of them where they're really bad or okay.
In his playoff career, he threw 23 touchdowns, and he threw 17 interceptions.
Yeah. He had the one big Super Bowl where he was the MVP. Now, his first year in the league, weren't the Cowboys like 1-15?
Yeah,
He went 0-11 as a starter his rookie year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Got off to kind of a rough start.
Yeah, that was before the Dorsett trade.
Yeah.
And then the Dorsett trade, the most lopsided trade in NFL history.
Or
That's Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker, I'm
Herschel
sorry.
Walker,
yeah, not
yeah.
Dorsett, not Tony Dorsett, sorry. Wrong running back. Yeah, the Herschel Walker trade, the Cowboys created a dynasty off of one trade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got like insane amount of stuff out of it.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Johnson.
Well,
just
it wasn't
fleeced the
just
Vikings.
that they got like 12 picks, but like the crazy part is like they put in the trade that because they got some players too. They got like 4 or 5 players, and if those players didn't play a certain amount of games, then those picks turned into better picks, and then during camp, Jimmy Johnson cut them all. So then those picks automatically improved to a lot better picks.
Yeah.
So some of them were like 7th round picks that turned into 2nd round picks because he cut the guy.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore, Cowboys fans, because he's your general manager.
Right.
Well, I mean,
We all know.
Jerry Jones ran him out of town.
Yeah.
And then immediately turned around and ran Bill Parcells out of town.
Oh, while we're talking about Jimmy, Ryan said if we could put coaches on, he would put Jimmy on the list.
Jeremy put Tom Landry.
Oh, Tom
Yeah.
Landry was another great coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the original list, Jeremy put Tom Landry, and I didn't tell him at the very beginning that we weren't doing coaches. So
okay.
So then I went back and told him, well, we're not doing coaches, so who do you think he would replace him with? And that's when I got the Tide for number 4 answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of Cowboy fans, especially older ones that have been around a while, are going to put Tom Landry. He was a great coach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, let's not bag on old Aikman too much more.
We really didn't bag on him too bad today. We've done it like 3 or 4 times leading up to today.
Yeah.
Honestly, he kind of... Remember when we made that comparison with him and Alex Smith? It's a pretty spot-on comparison. Alex Smith's just more athletic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on. Uncle Doug,
Yep.
do you have a number 4 left?
I do.
Who is your number 4?
My number 4 is Bob Lilly.
Bob Lilly.
That's a good one.
Bob Lilly did not make either one of my lists.
Okay.
He did not make mine. I got to double check. I think he made Jeremy's.
He made mine.
He did make Jeremy's.
Okay. He also he was actually, Logan didn't necessarily number these guys, so I just put them down in the order that he gave them to me, and he has Bob Lilly listed 2nd, and whereas I have him 4th. Bob has, of course, the Super Bowl, 11 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pros, 7 first team and 1 second, 95.5 sacks. He got 4 TDs, right? 18 fumble recoveries, and an interception for a defensive lineman.
He's also on the All-60s and All-70s team.
Yeah, he was a pretty amazing defensive lineman.
Jeremy also had him at number 2 on his.
So he's number 2 on mine.
Yeah. Well, I've got him 4. Logan has him at number 2.
I mean, he's pretty crazy. I decided between him and one other guy. I would say I went with the other guy, but
I have a feeling I know who that other guy is.
the guy that pretty much set the same player as him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Has a few more sacks.
Yep. I know
Yeah.
exactly who you're talking
Yeah.
about. He's
Yep.
going to show up again.
He's
Oh,
on my
well.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
On Logan's list, he gave me 2 guys at 4. So I'll go with the one he mentioned first, was Mel Renfro.
Okay.
He also said Mel Renfro or Darren Woodson. Kind of left it up to me. I went with Renfro.
Darren Woodson, that's an interesting pick.
So
Darren Woodson was if you ask Uncle Randy about, who's also a Cowboys fan, about Darren Woodson, he has a lot of awesome things to say.
yeah,
He's like, neither one of those guys made my list or Bubba's list.
yeah, Renfro, 2 Super Bowls, 10 Pro Bowls, 4 All-Pros, 52 interceptions, so 3 TDs, 13 fumble recoveries. So he was a pretty good corner.
52 picks of his career. It's a pretty nice number. Led the league
Yeah.
one year.
So anyway, that's my 4 and that's Logan's 4, and then mine was Lily. So
He also has 3 kick returns for touchdowns.
Nice.
Renfro, I mean. Well, 2 kicks and 1 punt.
yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that's all right. They also have him listed on Pro Football Reference as a DB/running back.
Okay.
But looking at it over his career, and he has 8 rushing attempts for his career. All in the same season.
Yeah, that's interesting.
8 rushes for 52 yards, which is a 6.5 yard per carry average. Well,
Yeah, that works.
not bad. No touchdowns, though. He also has 4 receptions for 65 yards, which is 16 yards a reception,
That works.
and no touchdowns. So, yeah. Apparently somebody wanted to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
All of those were in one season, though. So, all right. Well, that's all the number
That's
4s
it.
for you.
Yep.
Ray, you got number 4 left?
I do.
All right, who you got?
Staubach.
Oh, he's my number 1.
He's my number one.
He's my number 1.
He's my number one, and he's Jeremy's number one.
And he's Logan's number
He's
1.
Ryan's number one.
And he's Bubba's number 1.
Well, then we're gonna have a fun time, aren't we?
Well, I think Roger is unanimous.
He
there.
is
Roger is
unanimous
on the list.
on 9 lists.
Yeah. Everybody's got Roger.
Put a big X here. Yep. Roger Staubach. I mean, most notable name probably for the Cowboys, if you hear from anybody, is Roger Staubach probably. Let's see. 2 titles, 1 MVP, Super Bowl MVP, 22,000 passing yards, 153 touchdowns, and looks like Player of the Year in 71, I think. Yeah.
So he only had 109 interceptions, so he's on the upside of that.
And 57% completion rating.
And one of the most famous completions in the history of football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Hail Mary. Well, they coined the term Hail Mary from that play. It was just,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Vikings are very upset about that.
yes. They
Play.
And I was very upset about it when I was watching it. I was right there with the Viking fans saying it's interference, but that's all right.
But, Dad, they don't call pass interference on Hail Marys.
Well, that was the first one. So they hadn't started that yet.
Well, they started the trend.
I give you something here that's kind of crazy, though. In 1971, they won the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
In the playoffs, they played 3 games. They won all 3, and Staubach threw for 321 yards.
Total?
Total.
Wow.
Well, for the first handful of years of his career, I'm pretty sure Landry had him and another guy split time, like during games. I'm pretty sure I watched that in a documentary.
I think he did split time at first.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't doing it in year 3 in '71, but I'm pretty sure he did for at least the first couple years.
No, it looks like you might. Hold on, I'm looking.
See,
Yep, you're right. Craig Morton.
Yeah, Craig Morton was, and Craig ended up going to the Super Bowl with the Broncos later.
Because I mean, Staubach didn't really start fully starting the whole season worth of games until '73, when he's 31 years old.
Yeah. See, he went to the Naval Academy,
Yeah.
and he did his full service after the Naval Academy before he came to football, and including, I believe, touring Vietnam.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, he was 27 when he was a rookie.
Yeah. So I
So-
mean, he did the. A lot of guys they'll give him a partial thing and release him. I think Staubach did his whole service, and like I said, he didn't. I don't think he just had stateside jobs either. I think he did tour duty overseas.
Craziest part is the 2 best years of his entire career were those last 2 seasons, when he's 36 and 37 years old. Like, it's pretty nuts.
3,200 yards and 25 touchdowns, and then 3,527 touchdowns. That's his final 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has one other season in the middle of his career that's somewhat close to those as far as touchdowns goes, but I mean, he just retires. He really doesn't get to play a whole lot until he's in his low 30s.
Yeah.
And then it's
No,
a real
that's
short
true.
window, but he for back then did some really impressive things.
I'm trying to think who his running back was. Was it Calvin Hill?
Yeah.
Calvin Hill, yeah, was the main
Mhm.
running back when through most of his career. When did Tony Dorsett come in? Did he overlap Staubach at all?
I don't know. Hold on.
I don't know about that.
Truthfully,
Tony Dorsett was the running back in the second Super Bowl.
okay.
77.
Yeah.
All right, so they did overlap some. It's probably the reason his stats went up a little bit. He had a little speedier back.
Probably.
As far as Cowboy running backs go, TD would be my favorite.
Don't understand it really.
I like Tony Dorsett.
Definitely
Not
my
a big
favorite.
Cowboy fan, but I like Tony Dorsett.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He'd be my favorite.
All right. Well, that is everybody's number 4.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's 7 guys, and we've all named our number 4s. Only 4 guys that are people in this room have, but if you look at all the lists, we have 7 guys now after when we just did our number 4s.
Right.
So, number 3s.
Yep.
I haven't gone yet, so I'll say my number 3. My number 3 is Emmitt Smith.
He's my number 2.
He's my number 3, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Emmett's my number 2, and he was Logan's number 3.
Emmett's my number 1.
Oh, okay.
He's Ryan's number 3. No, 2.
He's Jeremy's number 3.
He did not make Josh's list.
But
Really?
he make all of us in the room, right?
Sadly.
Yeah, he
And
made
then
me.
most of the other lists.
So he's a unanimous in the room.
Yeah.
So-
Oh,
He
there's
didn't
2.
make Bubba's list.
Nope.
The
Wow.
Cowboy fan doesn't have.
Yeah, doesn't have Emmett.
Well, can I take
Well,
him off then?
you remember this, though, the other day when we were talking to him at the hospital, Wade.
Yeah.
He said that Troy Aikman would get them all the way down the field and then let Emmett have the touchdowns.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's how you become the all-time leading rusher, letting a quarterback throw a ball
Right.
down the field. But it is what it is.
Since
Yeah.
Josh doesn't have him, can I take him off?
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge fan of Emmett, but I thought he deserved to be on the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
thought did
does.
too.
But I do. When you think of the Cowboys, you do think of Emmett. I mean,
Sure. Well, he is the all-time leading rusher. I know, Drew.
can
you
we
don't
all
think that.
quit saying that?
He's-
18,000 yards is impressive.
But when you stick around forever,
I know.
He's in the Hall of Fame. He's an 8-time Pro Bowler. He's a 5-time All-Pro. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ. He has an MVP.
Super Bowl MVP.
And a Super Bowl MVP. He's on an all-90s team. He's an offensive rookie of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. He has the most. Doesn't he have the most rushing touchdowns in NFL history, along with the yards?
He's got 164 touchdowns. I don't know if that's the most or not.
I'm not
It's
sure.
not the most like touchdowns as far as skill players, but I think he might have the most rushing touchdowns. I think.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
LaDainian Tomlinson is second with 145, so quite a ways behind.
Yeah. So he's killing it.
And what averaged 4.2 yards a carry for his career and
Yeah.
85 yards a game, which, as Drew said, he hung around for a long time, which probably damaged both of those.
Yeah, because here's his last years in the league: 3.5, 2.8, 3.8, 3.9.
Yeah.
He had a year in his prime in 1996 where he averaged 3.7.
and
His rookie year he averaged 3.9.
and people try and argue with me how he's the GOAT running back. It's ridiculous. I can't. I really can't. There's multiple people ahead of him.
6 years we averaged below 4 yards a carry of his career.
So
He does have a ridiculously long career for a running back, though.
he does.
Well, when you're behind the
insane.
greatest O-line of all time, arguably all time, you get down the field before the big ugly guys get you.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's also incredibly durable, though.
He
didn't-
was.
He didn't get hurt hardly at all.
He has seven years of his career where he averaged over 300 yards, or not 300 yards, 300 carries. He went 365, 373 back-to-back seasons, and then he was down the 200s. Then he went 368, 377, 327.
Yeah. Those are all like a lot of his monster years, too, where his touchdown
Yeah.
totals are ridiculous, his rushing numbers are ridiculous. I mean, he ran the ball 4,409 times. That's a ton. That's a ton of carries.
That is, man.
That's. I mean, I agree with Drew. He's not the GOAT running back. He's probably not in my top 3. Probably, maybe not in my top 5. I don't know. I have to think about it. But
He's not in my top 3. I know that.
he's insanely durable, though, and he is the all-time leader in yards and touchdowns. So,
I'll find 5 guys.
I mean, you can make a case for probably 8 or 9. There's a ton of all-time great running backs. But
I just refuse to believe that Emmitt Smith is better than Walter Payton, better than Barry Sanders, and
Mhm.
better than Jim Brown.
Right. I would agree.
I mean, I think if we sit here, I think some other guys' primes are way better. They got cut short because of injuries.
Well, you can talk about Eric Dickerson. You can talk about Marshall Faulk. You can talk about,
Earl Campbell.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Earl Campbell was a beast.
It's Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson. All these guys you can make arguments for.
Again, a lot of these guys on this Cowboys team are built up bigger because they won Super Bowls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that run of 3 Super Bowls is a big deal.
It is. It is.
And
But
they're
unlike
America's,
Aikman,
America's
though.
team. They're America's team.
America's hated team.
This is the one thing I will say. The America's team thing is annoying as hell, but their TV ratings are so much better than every other
Yeah.
team in the NFL that you can't deny it.
Right.
Like, that's why they're on primetime television every single week of the year,
And
is
it
because
has
their
been that
ratings
way
are through the roof.
for a long time.
Well, what other option do we have? That's all they've ever put on when I've been alive.
Yeah.
They're the 325 game every week.
Their fan base is ginormous, though.
It is, and that's why they're
crazy.
on at that
Well,
time.
here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Or
There's-
Sunday night.
the 5 of us in this room are going to watch a noon game and a 3 o'clock game and the night game and the Monday night game, no matter who's on. We
Right.
watch all the games.
Yeah.
We watch football every Sunday. That's
Right.
what we do. But the Cowboys draw in the casual
Yes,
fans.
they
For
do.
whatever reason, I don't understand it, whether it's cheerleaders, whether it's, Team of Destiny, I don't know what it is, but they draw in way more fans than anybody else.
There are 2 or 3 franchises in the NFL that around the entire United States have big fan bases, and the Cowboys is definitely one of them, and probably the number one.
Yeah.
Like, we live in the middle of the country. We live in Missouri, obviously,
Yeah.
and we have 9 lists with us because we know so many
Right.
Cowboy fans.
There's so many
That's true.
Cowboy
That's
fans.
true. That's
And
true.
half of our family are Cowboy
And
fans.
the Cowboys fan that was going to come tonight, we don't have a list from.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
one of my better friends growing up was a huge Cowboy fan. Like,
One of
We-
my best friends growing up
yeah,
was a Cowboy.
everyone knows.
One of my
the
friends is a Cowboys fan.
Like, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like them, the Steelers, in the past
Packers.
10 years, the damn Patriots.
Oh,
And- Well, the
Yeah.
Packers is a good one too. Lots of people are cheeseheads,
yeah.
but yeah. Well, the Patriots are now getting surpassed by the Chiefs. The Chiefs have shot up in the past few years.
Especially around where we
Well,
live.
we live in
Yeah.
Chief Country, so
Yeah.
because
Chief
I always
country.
like.
No, but Patrick Mahomes is a national. People love him in the United States now. He's all over everything, everywhere, all over all the news stations. And
Here's
he's the GOAT, bro.
Here's the thing, Drew.
Oh,
we
no.
can't deny being in Chief Country anymore because the Rams left, so they're the only team
I
in our
know.
state.
Yeah.
So
That's why everyone did. They said, "Well, I don't want to root for them." You get those fans that root for the team in their state. They said, "We can't root for the Rams now," so they go to the Chiefs.
yeah,
Let them go.
Yeah.
I'll keep my Rams.
the Steelers.
I mean,
have
you
the
were a Rams fan
base.
before they came to St. Louis.
I know. I was.
You were the original LA Rams fan. And then the miracle happened and they came to you.
I know. That was pretty cool.
That would be cool if your franchise moved to the city, the big city closest to you.
Yeah. Just got to convince Jim Irsay to come to St. Louis. I don't think that's going to happen for us, Ray, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's leaving Indiana.
No. Probably not.
Indy's treated him pretty well.
Yeah, Indy's a
Yeah.
good football town.
Beautiful stadium.
They support the Colts pretty well.
Yeah.
It's crazy because they were a huge basketball everything back in the day. And then after Peyton came to town, things really changed.
And Reggie and Marvin.
Yeah.
But Peyton was the face of it.
Well, of course. But
well, wasn't Marvin there first?
Yeah, he was there before.
I'll say he was there
Yeah.
before Peyton.
He wasn't good
So-
until Peyton got
So
there.
was Marshall Falk.
Yeah. They were both catching passes from
Jim Harbaugh.
Jim Harbaugh.
I can't ever remember which Harbaugh it is. Jim, John, was somebody.
We're talking about back in the day now when they
Yeah.
sucked. That's why they got Peyton Manning.
Yeah. All right. I just said my number 3.
he's my number 3.
I still have a number 3.
And Josh's number 3 was Larry Allen, so I've already said that.
Okay.
So we can move on. Who else?
My
has
3 was Emmett, and Logan's 3 was Emmett.
Ryan's list is done.
Emmett
Oh, it's done?
was- wow.
Yes, it's done. This
Oh.
is done. My list is done as well, too.
Your list is done?
Yeah.
Who's your number 2?
Bob Lilly.
Oh, okay. All right.
I have my 3, and then I'm done.
Okay, so who's your number
Yeah.
3, Wade?
Mr. White, Randy
Yeah,
White.
Randy.
Randy White is my number 2.
Yeah,
Randy's my number 2 as well.
I'm with you on Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah.
I was kind of going back and forth between him and Lily, and I'm like, I feel like they're like the same exact player, just like a decade apart. Both great. I think Lily's a good pick. I just made up my mind. I was gonna pick one or the other, and I went with White. But
I tried to decide between the two and finally just decided to put them both on there.
So how many?
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad.
Does everybody have Randy White?
I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, you did.
Oh, Drew did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Well,
So-
remember. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ray, did you?
Yeah, I got Randy.
Okay. Well, and Josh has him at number 2 on his list as well.
Logan, he did not make Logan's list.
He was an honorable mention on Jeremy's.
All right.
So is that 4 for Randy?
4 for Randy.
My list is now done.
My list is done.
Yeah, I believe mine is done.
God,
I
I'm
got to stop
so.
and look at it again. Yeah.
So am I the only one who's got one left then?
Oh, I'm curious. Yeah. Might be. I think Jeremy's is done.
Yeah, both
Double
of mine
check.
are done.
Yeah, Logan's is done.
ACN.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, yeah. We talked about all the ones Jeremy has.
All right. Well, Ray, who is your last person, and where do they rank?
My number 3 is Tony Dorsett.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
TD.
okay. That was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not a bad pick at all.
No, that's not. I like Tony Dorsett. I like him better than Emmitt Smith.
Just wait for arguments. I'm gonna make a petition.
Tony Dorsett is the all-time leader in fumbles for running backs.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Still, I like him better than Emmitt Smith.
Yeah. Another one of those players that notable for the team, him and Staubach. That's who that comes up. Let's see what we got here for stats. 12,000 rushing yards, 72 TDs.
I got 77.
I got 77 too.
Who did he play with? Just the Cowboys or something?
Oh, he played 1 year in Denver.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
remember,
Yeah.
Ray only does the team
Yeah.
stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of the team, not Mount Rushmore of everybody else's bullshit. Let's see, 13 receiving TDs, 3,400 receiving yards, 4 Pro Bowls, 1 All-Pro, and a Super Bowl title. So pretty,
And a UPI MVP.
yeah.
Those damn MVPs back then.
And the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
So pretty stacked little stat line there.
And he also holds the record for longest rushing touchdown. He has a 99-yard rushing touchdown.
I've thrown one.
So-
I know, yeah.
So let me ask somebody that watched him play. Why does he have 90 fumbles?
He was fast, and he just didn't always put the ball away. I mean, he was fun to watch. I mean, he really he was built different than Barry Sanders, but he kind of ran. I mean, he was quick moves and fast, and like I said, that 99-yard touchdown. Once Tony got behind you, you weren't catching him.
I feel like it's become really, really underrated as times went on. Like
I think because of Emmett. I mean, I think after Emmett made all those yards with the Cowboys, people
Yeah.
only think of one running back with the Cowboys.
I mean, you're probably right, but I mean, like, his career totals are pretty badass. Like, you know, a lot of people with career totals like this get talked about quite a bit. I mean, he's, you know, just a little chunk under 13,000 rushing yards. I mean, looks like he was a great receiver. About 400 receptions, 3,500 receiving yards.
How big was he, Alex? Does it say?
Mm-hmm. He is 5'11", 192, and
Mhm.
ran a 4.3 at the combine.
Right. Yeah. See, I knew he was really fast, and I didn't think he was that big.
192 is pretty small.
So, but yeah, I really liked Tony. He was, and my friend Phil that I talked about, my best friend growing up. I don't have his list, but I would imagine Tony would be on there because he loved Tony.
He averages more yards per carry than Emmett.
Yeah. So.
I'm ready for when we do. I just wrote on my board a little paragraph, but
So nobody put Tony Romo?
I like Tony.
I mean,
I like
he's their
Romo,
all-time
yeah.
leading passer.
Yeah. Mount Rushmore of announcers.
Yeah, there you go.
He is a pretty badass announcer.
I like him. I like him a lot as an announcer, but I also know a handful of people that can't stand him as an announcer.
Really?
Yeah, they're like annoyed by the breakdown stuff.
Annoyed
I
by him
love
being
the
right all the
breakdowns.
time.
Yeah, he is right all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the cringiest things I've ever heard was when last year in the AFC Championship game when he said Chase is on the case.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah.
He said that. I was like, oh my gosh. He did not just say Chase is on the case.
Did I send a text message to our group?
Yes,
message
when that
today?
happened.
Yeah. I said something about Paw Patrol. I thought so. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Chase was killing people. But
But still.
yeah.
All right. So is that everybody's list? Nobody has anybody left.
No.
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
it.
All right. So total out of all of our lists, we have 10 guys. But for those of you listening, people that are on a list that is not in this room, we're not going to consider because obviously they didn't receive votes from any of us, so we're not going to vote for them. So we're going to, that will leave Larry Allen off,
Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman,
Mel Renfro.
yes, Mel Renfro, and that's it. So that'll leave us with 7 guys. Just one guy or two guys,
Two guys.
are already on, and Staubach and Smith, Emmitt Smith. So those guys are already on because they were unanimous. So that leaves 5 guys for 2 spots. And those 5 guys are Jason Witten, Michael Irving, Bob Lilly, Randy White, and Tony Dorsett.
Who didn't have Randy White?
Drew.
No, it's Drew. Okay.
Why?
I like Bob better.
Yeah, why, Drew?
I like Bob better, okay?
I like Bob too. I like both of them. But I have them 3 and 4, and it's for the exact reason that Wade mentioned. White has 111 sacks, and Lilly has 95 and a half.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
That's how I finally differentiated between the two.
I feel like they're almost like the same exact player.
And Randy White also got an MVP in a Super Bowl, which for a defensive lineman to be MVP of the Super Bowl is pretty nice.
okay, I'll get rid of Bob and put Randy.
I don't know. I wish we knew what he did in that Super Bowl to win MVP.
You know, I watched it, but I can't remember now.
Well, didn't Dad randomly talk to you about Randy White too?
He did.
Me and Alex's dad just randomly, like on separate occasions, just started talking to us about. He's a Steeler fan, just about Randy White, about how he's.
He thinks Randy White's the greatest Cowboy ever.
Yeah, like he loved Randy White apparently.
By the way, if you want to talk about something funny about Randy White, it has nothing to do with football. You remember years ago they did that celebrity boxing league?
Yeah.
They asked Randy White to do it, and they matched him up against the fridge, and he beat the living dog crap out of the fridge. And he's like an old man at this point.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, the fridge came into the league in what, 85?
Yeah, I think he was a rookie on the 85 team.
Yeah, and Randy White retired in 88.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much older than Fridge he is, but he beat the tar out of the fridge. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. They didn't ask Randy White to come back, though.
I'm sure.
All right, so we got 3 guys now. And
Oh, did we get rid of somebody else?
Drew said he'd go to Randy White.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Sorry. I guess I was running my mouth about the fridge.
So we got Tony, Michael, and Jason.
So, Drew, you want to make a deal?
Oh, did we get rid of Bob Lilly, too?
What's the deal?
Yeah, he agreed to get rid of them.
Oh, okay.
The deal is,
Oh,
I'll
boy.
take. I'll concede Dorsett if you concede Witten.
No, because I don't want you to conceal Dorsett.
Oh, okay.
I have my petition I just wrote on my board.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Sign here if you would like to put Tony on instead of Emmett. Now listen, I know it's crazy, but we left Lou Gehrig off. So please, join me in this great movement to make America great again. Thank you.
You just said make America great again.
Oh, Drew.
I have signed my name on it.
Wow.
Didn't you put Emmett on your list?
Yes, but I want to change it.
It really annoys you that he passed Walter, doesn't it?
It's so annoying.
Well, here's my thing with the 3 guys we have left. If I was going to give up Michael Irvin, I wouldn't do it for Tony Dorsett. But I would consider doing it for Jason Witten, because Jason Witten is the guy Michael Irvin is looking up at on all the lists for the Cowboys. Receiving, yards, receptions, touchdowns. He's looking up at Witten and all those things.
So who's got Michael Irvin? Who picked Michael Irvin?
Me and Wade, I believe.
Yeah.
Man, this is rough now. Dorsett, Irvin.
So I guess,
Witten.
do we go to the boards?
Who we voting on? The last 3?
Dorsett, Irvin, and Witten?
Sure. I don't care.
Irvin and Dorsett contributed to the greatest Cowboy teams ever, though. Witten didn't contribute to anything, as far as Jimmy's thought process goes.
That's true. He doesn't have any Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Dorsett has 1 and Irvin has 3.
Yeah. So when you think of the Cowboys, you think about their greatest, them being one of the greatest teams and dynasties of all time. And Irvin was a giant part of 3 Super Bowls, and Dorsett was an important part of 1.
I will say this, and some of it may be because of age, but when I think of the Cowboys, Tony Dorsett never comes to mind. Like he would be way, way down the list.
He is just overshadowed. I think it's because of what Uncle Doug said. I think that makes a lot of sense. Just Emmett kind of just pushed him to the side, just being the same franchise and all.
Yeah, I really think so. I really think that's why you don't hear that much about Tony.
Yeah, 'cause, he's got pretty crazy stats.
Yeah, 12,000 rushing yards is nothing to be embarrassed about by any means.
No. But like I said, I said in my opening statement, part of why I picked Michael Irvin was because he's still famous to this day. And Jason Witten tried to announce. He didn't do too hot at it.
It didn't go very well.
That too
Yeah.
well.
No.
Oh, the
He
old
even got hair implants for it.
the old first take crew will be in Dallas tomorrow with Stephen A. riling them up. And they're gonna have Des Bryant, Michael Irvin,
Lord.
and Jerry Jones all on first take.
Oh my.
Oh,
That
boy.
will be an antsy. I haven't liked Stephen A. Smith for quite a while, but some of his Cowboy takes do crack me up.
Yeah, dude.
No, some of his Cowboys TikToks. One day, he was sitting on his couch with a cowboy hat on, a cigar, and he said, "How about them Cowboys?" Said they can't even spike the ball with 1 second left. How about them Cowboys?
He's always saying something like that. That they always find a way to mess it up.
They do have some dramatic losses recently.
Yeah.
I mean, last year's was just stupid. But even a few years ago when they couldn't figure out whether Des Bryant caught it and fumbled, whether it was an incomplete catch,
Yeah, that one at least wasn't their fault. That was just the referees not being able to determine
well,
what the catch
it kind of is, it kind of isn't. Like, you're like 6 yards from the end zone. How about you just catch the ball instead of trying to dive one-handed for the pylon and losing the ball, and then we got to go through all this again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That was also during the era when we didn't know what a catch was.
No, you're
You
very
could catch
very
it, take
true.
3 steps, and fall down, and they'd be like incomplete because
Yeah.
he fumbled it after his 3 steps.
It was like
It's
a
okay.
3-year span there where we had no idea what a catch was.
Yeah.
Like Calvin's was just as ridiculous as Des Bryant's, and Calvin caught it.
He was in the end zone.
Fell to the ground and then dropped it while standing back up, and they're like incomplete. It's like what? Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. All right, what we doing, guys?
We're gonna do the boards. Is that how we're gonna do this?
Or, we go back to Ray's deal is he'll get rid of his 1 vote if you'll get rid of your 1 vote.
Yeah, but Witten's got more Cowboys records than Michael does.
Michael has Super Bowls.
He does have Super Bowls.
And Witten pulled an Emmett and just stuck around for a long time and tacked on numbers.
That is
Emmett's
true.
up there.
Yeah, but you don't like it, but you're trying to take him off.
I know. I would.
So it sounds like a board situation.
I think maybe, yeah, leaning that way.
Let's do it.
All right. To the boards. Just so all the listeners are aware, we have 3 guys left. Jason Witten, Michael Irving, and Tony Dorsett. And we are going to the boards to see who makes the last spot on the list. Most votes will go on the list. All right. Well, I got mine.
Come on.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
I'm good.
All right. I got Irving.
Witten.
Irving.
Dorset.
Oh, God.
So, 2 for who?
2
Whit-
for Witten,
2 for Irvin.
1 for Dorsett.
So Ray's the
So
deciding.
Dorsett's out.
So do I get the vote on the 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. Who do I want?
Oh no.
I'm trying to watch that Dez catch real quick. I want to refresh my...
Oh, yeah.
I made the case at the time that I don't think he took any steps. I think he was just falling down and is flailing his legs.
Damn advertisements.
But anyway, so Tony Dorsett has been eliminated. And I guess Ray now will decide between Michael Irving and Jason Witten.
Okay. 3 seconds in, my phone quit working.
All right, Ray has written his answer down.
Oh no.
Ray, what you got, buddy?
Who'd you put down?
Jason Witten.
He always fucks us out.
Every time, man. Every time.
Thank
Not even
you, Ray.
threatening this time. Next time I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh, shit.
Come on, show the play.
All right, so our 4 Cowboys are as follows. Roger Staubach, Emmitt Smith, Randy White, and Jason Witten. Is that our first tight end to make a list?
Gronk.
No.
Oh, Gronk. made a
Ozzie
list.
Newsome.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. We got a few tight ends. My bad. My bad. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. Well, that will end our Cowboys portion of this episode. And I must say, we were pretty tame there, guys.
We really were, we?
We were good.
Yeah. And that will lead us into trivia. Drew, are you ready, sir?
Yep. What NFL team has the lowest winning percentage in the playoffs?
Lowest winning percentage.
And they're an active team. It's not like one of the ones back, way back.
Which team has the lowest winning percentage in the playoffs?
Yes. And they're an active team. It's not like one of the ones way back that folded up and they're like 0-2 or something like that.
Okay.
They're an active NFL franchise.
Ooh.
Active NFL franchise that has the worst record in the playoffs.
Well, go any number of directions.
Indeed. Wouldn't it be great if it was the Cowboys?
Very unlikely, but it would be funny.
Well, there was a nice meme the other day that said the Jets had more playoff wins or something.
So the Jaguars.
Have more playoff wins than the Cowboys?
Not right now, no. But like in the last 25 years, they do.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
they were just in the AFC Championship game with...
Yeah, with Blake Bortles.
yeah.
I think they've been in 2.
They should have won the game, too. They were winning most of the game.
Yeah, the
and
Jaguars should have
messed
won
it
the
up.
Super Bowl.
Shocker, the Patriots came back.
Yeah, the Lions and the Cowboys are like the only team that... It's the Lions, Cowboys, and I think the Commanders are the only teams that haven't made a championship game in like the last...
All right, I got my answer.
Yeah, I got an answer.
Yep.
Willard.
Okay.
All right, I put the Lions.
Okay.
I put the Lions.
Okay.
With the Lions.
Okay.
I'll say Green Bay.
It's the Bengals.
Oh.
Oh.
Even after that
Joe
Super Bowl
Shiesty
run.
may fix that.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
But
That'd be cool.
it's kind of shocking, actually.
Yeah, they're like...
'Cause they made 3 Super Bowls.
Mm.
That's kind of...
I think they're like... I think I saw it was 8-15.
Does that include this last year?
Yeah.
So 3 of those 8 wins came this last year. That's
that-
crazy.
Yeah, that could be right still.
All right, who would like to go next?
I can go.
All right.
I got like 3 questions here.
Oh.
I thought some of this stuff might come up. and none of it did. But so I will ask one, and then I'll give you the other two while you guys are figuring it out. All right. What Cowboy was the first Super Bowl MVP from the losing team?
Oh, I didn't know they did that.
I didn't know the NFL did that either. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, there has been a MVP of the Super Bowl from the losing team.
Is this the only one time it happened? Or
That's the only one I know of.
Saying the Jerry West one's very famous, but
Yeah, I'll say, everybody knows Jerry West did it, but
Yeah.
I didn't know it happened in football.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
wow.
So, well, while you guys were thinking about that, one of my other questions was, when did Jerry Jones buy the Cowboys? That would have been 89.
I was saying it was in the 80s.
And what is Tex Schramm's real first name?
Oh, I know that one.
Glad you didn't ask that one.
It would be Texas.
Oh, that's his real name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So, anyway, just a little trivia there.
Okay.
Cowboys player of the
I have no idea.
Just write down Cowboy.
Okay. Find it here.
All right, I got it. I got to guess.
Yeah, everybody got one?
Yeah.
All right, what you guys got?
I said Randy White just because I don't know.
It said Pearson.
But Too Tall Jones.
I also said Randy White.
It's Chuck Howley. It was Super Bowl V when the Colts beat them 16-13. I believe he was a linebacker and had maybe a couple interceptions or a couple fumble recoveries or something like that. But so it was. I think that Super Bowl was the one they called the Blunder Bowl
Oh, really?
because it was lots of turnovers and mistakes, and the Colts just
Held
eked
on.
it out.
All right, fair enough.
I thought Wade might know that, or Ray might know that, being old Colts fans. But
Not.
All right, who would like to go next?
I'll go ahead and do mine.
All right. How about you ask one that only I know?
Well, this one everybody might know this one. Who has the longest preseason winning streak in NFL history?
Okay.
I got mine.
I got mine.
I got mine.
oh, holy cow! I don't pay any attention to the preseason.
Well, I just know because
It's a current thing.
that's correct.
It's currently
Oh.
going on, so
and it has been for.
they were making a big deal about it recently.
Quite a few seasons.
Okay,
now.
Yeah.
I got an answer.
All right.
yeah.
I got the Ravens.
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 Yep. And at the time I wrote it down it was 21, but I think it's 22 now.
Yeah, they won the
Yeah,
other
they
night.
I forgot they mentioned that the other day on the news.
All right. Wade got it. And Alex got it. And Drew got it. And Doug got it. All right. So nobody made up any ground on anybody. Just I passed the guests.
Oh.
All right. Wade?
Yeah, I got mine. I'm still on my yards per game kick for wide receivers. I have to use top 9 instead of top 10 because for some reason my picture cut off the last row. But in the top 9 of receiving yards per game for retired receivers, 3 of them are not even in the Hall of Fame. I gave you Torrey Holt already. He was not in the Hall of Fame. Who's the other 2?
And they're retired, correct?
They are retired.
Tired, none of
Oh,
them.
okay.
And yards per game, right?
Yards per game in NFL history.
I got one off pretty quickly.
That is interesting.
Kind of surprising.
Wow.
Kind
Okay.
of surprising. You're top 9 all time in receiving yards per game, and 3 of them are in the Hall of Fame.
What I'm trying to figure out in my head is, are they not in the Hall of Fame because they retired in the last couple of years, or are they just not in the Hall?
Right.
They've already just. Yeah.
Oh man.
He is what?
Sorry, Impractical Jokers got me on the TV for a second.
This has been our new thing. This is not sports really playing. We've been watching Impractical Jokers during all these episodes.
And tattoos of Will Smith's son on both legs. What is going on? Oh, that was funny. Oh.
I don't know.
I have one written down I feel decent about, but I don't know. I can't even remember which receivers got in the Hall recently because they were so backlogged. I can't remember which ones got in, which ones didn't.
They still are. Some of them should still be in, and they're not.
Yeah.
All right, I got 2 guesses.
All right, I got my guesses.
Okay, I got 2 guesses.
Is that everybody?
Yeah.
All right, I got Wayne and Johnson.
I said Reggie Wayne and Brandon Marshall.
I said Stanley Morgan and Joyner.
I also said Reggie Wayne, but that's the only one.
Oh, who said Andre Johnson?
Me.
You got one. I think that's the only one. The other one is Sterling Sharp.
Oh.
I guessed him on the last week.
Yeah.
The only person ever to be the best football player in his family, but his siblings in the Hall of Fame and not him.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Reggie Wayne's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I bet he'll get in soon.
He should. Him and Torrey Holt both.
Yeah.
All right. Here is my question.
No. Go ahead. Sorry.
Which Cowboy was the first NFL player to kick 3 60-yard field goals?
I can't think of one Dallas Cowboy kicker to kick
No.
one.
I have one in my head, and just his name is escaping me for the time being.
I can't even think of a kicker on the Cowboys.
Well, they had a really popular kicker for a long time, but I don't know how long time.
I got to guess.
Like 10 years or so.
I think this is his name. I think. All right, I got to guess.
Is that everybody?
Yeah.
No, I don't have. I can't think of his damn name. Huh, I'm gonna lose my lead from a fucking kicker.
Oh, I'm not saying mine's right. Wait.
I have this guy pictured in my head and everything. I cannot think of his name. I gotta write something down, I guess.
I couldn't find a question on how much Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for.
Ooh, that'd probably be.
Okay,
I bet it wasn't $500.
Oh, I bet not.
No.
I do think it was like obviously like they're worth so much today. It's unreal.
Yeah.
And it's like he bought for like $10 million because they sucked and were terrible at the time, and now he's worth like billions upon billions, like $10 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Has everybody got it?
Yeah.
All right, what we got?
Put Dan Bailey.
Damn it.
There,
I put
that's the name.
Nugent or whatever.
I said Greg Zuerlein. Greg the Leg.
Oh, there you go. Nothing.
Well, Dan Bailey is the longtime kicker that they had for a while, but that's not the answer.
Oh,
It's Bill Maher.
well, that's not who I thought.
Yeah. I just went with the guy I knew that was there for a long time. I knew.
Brett Maher, sorry.
Don't know him.
Wow. Know that.
Do not know him.
I just knew Zuerlein had gone there at the end.
Yeah, and he didn't. The thing he's most famous for is kicking that one onside kick against the Falcons. But the ball's not on a tee.
Kickers have gotten really crazy with how they do onside kicks recently.
Oh, yeah.
Our kicker just tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah, that.
Blankenship or whatever.
No, it was the punter.
Our
punter,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, after this week's tallies, the standings are as follows. Wade and Drew tied still, but just got a point at 17. Uncle Doug still in third with 14. Then Alex with 6, the guests with 5, and Ray with 4. So Alex finally passed the guests, and we haven't had a guest in a couple episodes, so that's probably why. And we appreciate you tuning in for our Dallas Cowboys episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week for the Texans.
Houston Texans, yep.
Yeah, the Texans episode, which will be interesting because they're another interesting franchise, to say the least. And we appreciate you tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.